Hello and welcome back to Casting Cares with Khadija Presents Casting Conversations. Tonight we are talking about setting healthy boundaries in relationships. I'm gonna bring my girl Lachelle up in here so we can get to talking. Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
hi, casting cares, everybody.
How's it going?
Good. So good to see you, always beautiful.
Oh,
And our
thank you, you
beautiful
too.
people out there in social media land. Happy
Yes.
to see everybody.
So we were not scheduled to come on this week. However, Miss Lachelle, what happened? However, Miss Lachelle is she's going away. She's gonna be busy, so we would not have been able to do it next week. So here we are because we didn't want to go like several weeks.
Yes, we love y'all.
Yeah.
We ain't in a situation shit. We in a relationship. We ain't doing it. It's no divorce in this relationship we got. We gonna do
Yes.
it right. We gonna be
Yeah.
committed.
Yes. And speaking of relationships, we are talking about, like I said, setting healthy boundaries in relationships. Now, of course, when people see the word relationship, they probably automatically think about romantic relationships,
Oh,
right?
that's good.
Couples and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you could set boundaries in every kind of relationship, a marriage,
Come on.
a friendship,
Yeah.
coworker, um, mother and child, or parent
Business.
and child, business, all kinds of boundaries. Okay, so first, what we're going to talk about is, matter of fact, first, did you want to say anything about, your thought on this whole session that we're about to embark on and talk
I love how you
about?
said that. Embark on. This is an amazing, most powerful topic. You hear it all the time. When I watch other podcasts, I hear people talk about boundaries all the time. And I
Yeah.
love what you said. Boundaries are across the board. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, a lot of times when people hear boundaries, they always think about it being romantic or something like that. But boundaries are across the board,
Yes.
spiritually, mentally, physically, financially,
Mm-hmm.
economically, socially, emotionally,
Come on.
geographically. Come on, sis. Like, man, you got to put that big old stop sign, honey. What? Stop playing, even to your next door neighbor. Hello. There are boundaries with your dog and your cat. Like, keep your
Exact.
dog.
Thank
Get that
you.
little scooper to scoop up your stuff. There's boundaries by
Yes.
my house. Don't let your dog doodle on my yard. Hello.
Thank
So,
you.
no, for real. So it's
Societal
across the board.
boundaries.
Yes, it's animal boundaries. Hello, let's talk. Come on, let's talk. When you go get your nails and feet done, there's a boundary. Like, you digging in my toe too deep? Hello,
Yeah.
are they sterilized? Like, what's up
Mm-hmm.
with my feet? Like, come on, I'm paying you. So, this is a great topic that you picked. It's across the board. Even
Thank you.
family. Hello, we love you, but
Exact.
call. Please call me when you come by. Hello.
Exactly.
Don't
Just
just
be
show up and
popping
pop
in.
up. Yeah,
Right.
because you might be surprised. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There might
Exactly.
be
I
some
said
special guests over. It might surprise you. So I'm just saying. You
Oh
never know.
my God. Exactly. You never know.
You
What's
never
up,
know.
Stephen
Hi.
Harris? Thank you for joining. You can any Stephen Harris, do you have any healthy boundary or any relationship in your life that you'd like to place boundaries on, but you
My
probably don't
God.
have the courage to tell the person?
Woo. Courage. Courage.
Courage. What's up, Demarcus Vaughn?
Hi,
Demarcus Vaughn.
Demarcus.
We're talking about setting boundaries. Do you have a boundary in your life with anybody that you are afraid to set or you want to set? You haven't set it yet. Talk about it. All right, now let's get into it. So, first of all, I think we all know what boundaries mean. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about the definition. This is the definition from the Oxford Dictionary. It says a line that marks the limits of an area, a
Mm.
dividing line.
My.
However, when I first looked it up, now AI is trying to take over, right?
Oh,
So,
AI is ridiculous.
yeah, so as soon as you look something up, AI is the first piece of information, right? So, I like AI's definition, though. Here it is, even though I had to chop it down a little bit. It says our boundaries are invisible lines that define what is and is not acceptable behavior in a
Oh,
given
I love that.
situation. Yes. They can be physical, emotional, intellectual, sexual. It had
Didn't I say that?
yeah, that's why I was like, ooh. They had financial on there.
Yeah.
And so I put etc. Okay, and they can apply to any aspect of life. Okay, and I think that is the main thing that people need to understand. Like, it does not matter what area of life. Like, all it takes is that one time and be like, oh my gosh, no, this person did not, now we gotta have this uncomfortable
Uncomfortable
conversation.
conversation.
Woo.
Oh my God. This is like everyday life we deal with.
Yes. Oh
Oh my
my
God.
God. Do you have a instance or an example that you can give us in your life where you wanted to set boundaries, of course needed to, but you just couldn't bring yourself to do it? Because it could be
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
yeah, especially when it comes to friends and people
Mm-hmm.
that you know,
Yeah.
that there's always situations where you be like, oh my God. And it's so sad, especially, oh my God. And then me as a believer, you like, okay, God, like this is like,
Mm-hmm.
I get being kind, being nice, but this is a
Yeah.
bit much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So you do have areas, and like you said, you want to say something, and then sometimes you feel like if you say something, people get offended. Like
Mm-hmm.
this boundary thing connects to a lot of stuff. Because then when you say something, people look like they get upset. But you
Right.
gotta set bound, especially when it's people that are close to you,
Yeah.
friends, co-workers, neighbors. I mean, if you're a born again believer, like especially when it's people, your own family, your kids, if you're married, or if you're intentionally dating, or
Mm-hmm.
your family, your mom, your dad, like it's hard when it's people that you know. But you have
Mm-hmm.
to set them. They're in place.
Yeah.
Jesus set boundaries for us.
Thank you. Please talk
That's a
about
whole
it.
nother level when you talk about spiritually. Why we can't do that? Because he know if you I always tell people, I'm I drive. If the speed limit is
Mm-hmm.
55
Mm-hmm.
and I go 95, I
Mm.
cross boundaries.
Yeah.
There's about why? Because it not only endanger you, but it endangers others that are
Other
around you.
people.
And no matter if I speak in tongues and say I'm a preacher, they said that's nice, but we're gonna lock you up and we're gonna give you a ticket. That's
Ex-
it. There are boundaries. That's what laws are. They're boundaries that we set. We still
mm-hmm.
have to obey the laws that be. So
Yeah.
it's very important with these boundaries, and a lot of times, like you said, even when it comes to sexually, there are boundaries. Like, you may go
Mm-hmm.
out somewhere and you may tell a person, well, you know, such and such this, and then they overstep that. You be like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not into that. So why would you like touch me there or do that? I told you I'm
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable with that. But you
Yeah.
did it anyway. You
Yeah.
understand? So
Mm-hmm.
this is a deep topic. But I think we have to be honest and upfront, even
Yeah.
if it hurts. Family, we love you, friends, coworkers, but we even on a job, you may have somebody that you work with on the job, and might be a opposite sex, and they might be a little too touchy feely. Like
Mm-hmm.
you, like I get it, John, Mr. John, or George, but I mean, he grab you around your waist. They have
Oh
all kind of
Lord. Yeah.
things for that now on your job, but people will do
Mm-hmm.
that, and sometimes I get it. Some people, it's their culture.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come from cultures where they kiss a person, they hug, they do a lot of stuff. Well, not in this culture. Like, I ain't doing that. Like, stop grabbing me around my waist and stop
Uh-huh.
telling me like sexual things. Like, so there's a lot of boundaries, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That we have to set for ourselves, and be honest about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if we don't do it, and then now if it's it could be a good friend of ours, and we say, well, sis, I love you, but you gotta call me. I
Mm-hmm.
know we close. I know
Mm-hmm.
we grew up since the sand part, but you gotta call me. You can't just show up at my house. But what
Right.
you mean by that? I thought girl, ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to
Right.
call me. You can't just show up here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. You
Yeah.
you have to call me. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not fair. I'm not gonna just show up at your house. Like you
Yeah.
have to call me. I know we've been friends. I
Yeah.
know we've been friends since the sandbox. But you got to call me and let me know. And wait for me to answer. Don't just say, oh, I might be busy or in the shower. No, wait for me to answer you. If I'm not responding, that means you shouldn't be coming. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
We have to set them.
Yeah. And then, I think, of course, normally you set boundaries in a um a romantic relationship. Obviously, people get to know each other and they talk
Hmm.
about uh they don't necessarily call them boundaries, they call them deal breakers now, but those
Yeah.
are pretty much boundaries as well.
Yeah.
But I
Culture
think,
talk.
yeah, but I
Hmm.
think of course it's important to set those kind of boundaries. I was talking to somebody the other day, and she talked about after coming out of this, I guess tumultuous marriage, which all she did was fight with her ex husband. When she got with her new husband, I guess she tried to like, argue with him or whatever, and he said, "I don't argue. Like if that's what we gonna do
Wow.
and that's what it's gonna be about, then we can't be together." And I've
Wow.
heard similar stories to that before, where it wasn't a woman came from a certain type of relationship that was toxic
Yes.
or whatever, and she kind of brought that same energy
Not
because
good.
that's what she was so used to, and the guy was like, "I don't do that. Like I'm not trying to be with somebody that I got to do
I
that
don't
with."
blame them.
And so she said from then on, they probably had one argument ever, and they just don't do that. and
Good.
and that's, you got to set those boundaries. And even in a relationship, I feel like when you are married to somebody and you've even been with them for years, even though they know you, sometimes you got to brush up on them boundaries, like, babe, I used to like this, but I don't like this now. So
It's
can you
so
not?
that's good. That's good,
Yeah.
Khadija. That's
So
really
can
good.
you not do that? Thank you, because I don't like it.
That's good. That's a great point. That's a very
Yeah,
great
thank
point.
you.
That's
Yeah,
a
because
great
we're
point.
always learning each other and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
that's the main things, that we should be open to always learning each other. You know what I'm saying? And not closed off like, oh, this is the person that I've been with for years. This is how they are, blah blah. No, find out if that's still okay. And don't just allow, if it's not okay anymore, say it. Don't just, not say anything about it.
It's
Come on now.
true. It's
So
very
here I
true.
found this little thing where it says types of boundaries. We already talked about that: physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, verbal boundaries, time. Oh, this was the biggest one to me: time boundaries.
Oh, that's a good one. It's funny. Oh, I got something to say after you talk. We're gonna talk
Uh,
about that. That's a good one. I just talked
okay.
about somebody with that. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good one.
Work.
Time boundary. Wow.
Yes. Work
That's
boundaries, spiritual boundaries, financial boundaries, sexual boundaries. Okay. So it says, let me just bring it up closer to me. It says for physical boundaries is protect my personal space and body, of course. Emotional boundaries protect my thoughts and feelings. Verbal boundaries protect how we speak and what we discuss. Time boundaries protect how I spend my time. Work boundaries protect my limits in the workplace. Spiritual boundaries protect my values and what I believe in. Financial boundaries protect my finances and assets. Sexual boundaries protect my safety and preferences. Okay, so go on now. Tell me what you had to say about the time. That's the main one right there
the
that I feel
time is
like
so
people don't
good.
need.
And let me tell you something. Time is very, very important. You should always respect someone's time. And I
Mm-hmm.
I had to go I had to do a homegoing service on Tuesday. So I had to ride to Brooklyn. So one of the girls that I knew from a long time, her children's father, it was his father that passed away.
Okay.
And she was telling me about it. She was like, shout out to Sister Stephanie. She was telling me
Mm-hmm.
about it. She said, Cynthia, I'm gonna be honest with you. She said, I went on, I was on a date with somebody that I was talking to, and she said that she had supposed to have been there about 1 o'clock, 12 or 1 o'clock. She showed up at 3 o'clock.
Mm.
3 o'clock, and he was like, I can't do this. That
Wow. For
so
a
when
date?
you on a yes, he waited, and she said it's
Wow.
so bad that it affects even one of her sons is like that. She said we was going somewhere, and they supposed to be there at 3. And she said, she was like, they was like, oh, well, we'll get there. That's what I'm saying. That, see
Mhm.
that boundary that you disrespect and dishonor
Yeah.
my time. Oh
Yep.
my God. And I remember my other friend used to be like that. She got better. It's when, listen, I told her, I said, girl, she said, but I'm working on that. I said, that's a good sign. I said, let me tell
Mhm.
you something. When you don't respect boundary time,
Mhm.
it shows a lack of character and it shows a lack of integrity. Now, don't get me wrong. Some things happen. You're supposed to communicate that. You're
Mhm.
supposed to say such and such this, such and such that, something happened. But when you don't respect that, it shows who you are.
Mhm.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's a lack of character. I told her, and it's a lack of integrity.
Yeah.
And I remember I had to tell one of my friends from a long time ago. I used to go wait for 3 or 4 hours. I'm downstairs. Who does that? That's
Mhm.
dishonorable
It
and
is. And
disrespectful to
yes,
somebody's time.
I was about to say it's a lack of respect as well.
It's a lack of respect. How can that's like if I say Khadidra, you say Cynthia, okay, you coming over this weekend. I got everything set up.
Mm.
We're gonna enjoy ourselves. We probably chit chat about the podcast. Now you
Mhm.
done moved your whole schedule.
Right.
You done shift everything. Busy schedule like you have. And I don't call you, I don't text you, I don't do nothing.
Mhm.
And you just and then I'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. Really? Really? No. You look at me like, wow, see, I didn't know you, Lachelle. I didn't know you. That says something about you.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful.
Mhm.
Time is when you know now, like I said, things happen with people's time, things run late, you get things, stop traffic, you gotta run something to kids. We get it. But when it becomes repetitive and
Mhm.
you don't set a boundary, you tell people, listen, now we had this conversation before. I'll extend some grace. But I'm gonna be here in 30 minutes. If you ain't
Right.
here in 30 minutes, I'm out. I just want you to know that.
Right.
I just want you to know that. Because you're not respecting my boundary time. I'm
Exactly.
just saying. Because we
Mm.
had these conversations before. So I'll be here. If you're not here, I'm out.
Mhm.
So
And
it's
it might
amazing you
not
said that.
and I might not make another time again.
Oh, I might not. Oh no. Oh, it won't
Yeah.
be no other time. I see you on
Yeah.
the other side somewhere, but it
Right.
won't be with me. So
Right.
I think is and it, like you said, it runs in an area shows character, a lack of character and integrity,
Mhm.
and it shows, like you said, disrespect. It's
Yep.
very disrespectful. And
Yeah.
then to you to come and say, "Well, girl, you know how it is." Really? No, I've seen things people act like that, like they act lackadaisical, like it's nothing. Why are you making a big deal? Really? I'm
Right.
making a big deal
Right.
that you made me shift my schedule and you give me this lackadaisical excuse, but I'm making a big deal. No, no,
And
no.
it'll be the same person that if you did that to them, or
Oh
oh
my
my
God,
gosh.
they'll call the APB out and they'll call the
Yeah.
president. They'll call the fire squad. Hello. So
Mhm. And I
you
can't
know, it's
believe you
these.
did this to me, and I told you
Oh,
to be
we
here at
supposed
this
to be
time.
friends, and I always show up at your such and such. They would have
Mhm.
see, so that time, ooh, that's why that's one thing. Even when I was before I retired, couldn't work no more. I never got reprimanded when it comes to time. Never. I
Mm.
always say you could never go wrong with being early.
Okay, that's
Never
right.
on a job, in ministry, if I'm going to meet somebody. Even when I went to church on Sunday, I drove to Brooklyn. I had to meet them to 9. I was there at 7.
Mhm.
Because you don't know what might happen in between time. So that gives you
Right.
grace in case there's something happen on the road. You may have to
Mhm.
pull over.
Yes.
Anything. I was there at 7 because I respect people's time because people have to wait for other people. They may have to do something else. So they waiting for you.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's very important. That boundary of time. And if you don't respect it, then me and you don't need to be around each other.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not at
I'm not
all.
the person. I love
Mm-mm.
you, but I love you from across the street.
Mm.
Really, literally from across the street, because you don't respect it. So that's very important. Time.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know why my voice sounded shaky just now. I feel like because these things can be like controversial, or not even they're not controversial. It could be confrontational. That's the word.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, they can.
Confrontational because people get offended, and it's like
Yes,
it's not fair to get
People can.
offended,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what happens. And for me, because I don't like confrontation, I'm more of a like, if you dish it out, then I'll dish it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like to go there. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem with me is that I let things build up and
Mm-hmm.
then I explode. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm exploding on you and letting everything out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you probably looking at me like I'm got 10,000 heads because I never knew you felt that way. And that's unhealthy as well,
That's
because
cool. That's true.
now, that could bring either separation in the relationship, or it could break the relationship up, or just bring a lot of strife into a relationship. But it's like it's almost hard to say, okay, how do you win? Because you have to be careful how you tell somebody that they are crossing the line,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, if I'm being careful about it and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, there's people that still be offended. Then the next day, oh, they try to act like, as you're telling it to them, oh yeah, I'm fine, no, no. Then you don't hear from them anymore.
Well, it goes to show you who people are, because
Yeah.
the main thing, you have to be honest. You understand?
Mhm.
You have to.
Yeah.
And sometimes, even when people tell you stuff, sometimes you don't like it, but then you sit back and
Mhm.
be like, well, that is true. I do
Right.
be acting mean. I do be looking like I got an attitude, to be honest.
Mhm.
You know what
Mhm.
I mean? You have a conversation with yourself and God, of course, and you be looking like, God be like, yeah, you are kind of mean. you you do argue a lot.
Yes.
But
Okay.
the main thing, you have to be honest, because it causes stress. All of that, see, all of that stuff come from the same father. You understand what I mean? The father
Mhm.
of lies, the enemy, and it comes with too much anxiety, stress. It's not worth it. And it's like you said, healthy boundaries is first set by telling the truth and
Yeah.
establishing them.
Yeah.
Why is the same like we said about God? Why God want me to do this? Because it's healthy for you. That's why He
Mm.
set these boundaries for you. He ain't
Right.
trying to keep nothing from you. He's trying to bring something to you. But you have
Mhm.
to obey these boundaries. It's just like driving the car, like I said. If listen, I love driving. When them roads are open, you like, yes, I can fly through these roads. But if you start speeding and you get into an accident, 9 out of 10, sometimes you may not come back from it, or it may affect your physical body. So why take
Mhm.
a chance in that, crossing those boundaries? You understand what
Right.
I mean? Or you might endanger yourself and others. So the first thing I would say is be honest, even when it hurts. Because people are
Yeah.
definitely honest with you when you hurt them, for sure.
Mhm.
They'll let you know, well, I don't
Absolutely.
like this, and what you said, they'll let you know in a minute. But you got to be honest. You can't lay with that stuff. It's like laying with bitterness or unforgiveness. It's going to eat you out. It's like a cancer. You got to be honest, and don't be
Yeah.
afraid to set them. Whether people, and it shows who people are. If they don't like it, then listen. You and that person was never meant to be. You love them, and shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing.
That is a fact. If somebody can't take it, then maybe that was a good thing. So you should never not express yourself to them, because this may be a way of just kind of like
Hmm.
weeding folks out. Like,
That's
all
good,
right, this is who
Khadija.
we don't
Yes.
need in our life. Oh well, if you couldn't take it, then you're not my friend in the first
Right.
place. Cause
Especially if it was on this a small scale like this.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
nah. So,
yeah.
I like what you said. Sometimes God may want you just to weed people out of your life.
Yeah.
He'll use a situation because He already
Mhm.
knows the person's heart, and you be like,
Yeah.
okay, well then, life. You still gotta live. Like I gotta be honest. You know what I mean? You have to
Right.
be honest with people.
Yes,
That's the
indeed.
main thing. You have to set them, because
Yeah.
people will take, and then you got people that take advantage of you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You like, okay, like it's like if me and you going to dinner, and every time we go out, you always paying. Come on. Ain't nothing in me gonna say, yo, I got you. I got the gas. I'm treating this week. You treated for 2 weeks. You mean nothing in me. It's not gonna say I'm gonna help out. I ain't gonna treat you. I'm just let you keep buying. Then you might have to say, well, Lachelle, hello, I get it. We sisters, but I've been paying for like 2 or 3 weeks. What's up? Like, what's up? Can a sister get some juice? Like, what's up? You know what I mean? Can I get a chicken wing And can you look out for a sister? Because I've been paying for these wings for about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, listen, my pockets is like, so you got to say, sis, I treat this week. I got next week. We setting boundaries. We helping each other out here.
Yeah.
We meet
I
each other
remember we used to
halfway.
I remember when I was younger, we used to the, me and my I call her my sister because we're so close
Mm-hmm.
and was pretty much raised together, but
Mm-hmm.
she's my cousin, and she had this one girl that she met through me
Mm-hmm.
that every time we went out she always had to treat her, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm so tired of this. And one day she looked at me, I'm talking about my sister, she looked at me and was like, you got any money to put? I was like, no.
Oh,
Like that's who you want to have her around you leeching all the time. That's your issue. It's not mine.
exactly.
You're not about to make it my problem. I'm not doing it
No.
because aren't you tired of this? Every time we go out, you gotta pay for her.
Yes.
I'm not a part of that. Please, no,
No.
thank you.
No.
So I
No,
just
because
straight up
people
said
take
no.
advantage. No.
Yeah,
No.
nope, don't got it. Sorry, and I
Mm-mm.
did have it. I just don't have it for you.
I
So
know that's right. Khadija said, I just don't have it for you. That part.
I'm sorry, I don't know because clearly there were no that's what I'm saying. There was no boundaries being set, and she was taking advantage because she knew she could do that instead of
Uh
going
huh.
out and
Uh
getting a
huh.
job.
Yeah.
Totally capable young lady. So
That.
this thing right here, that the picture that you see up there that says types of boundaries, I got it from a website called inmindout.com.
Okay.
And so there's one thing right here. It says tips for communicating your boundary. It says be as calm and clear as possible. We
Mm.
don't have to raise our voice to get the message across. State what it is that you don't like. You can use, here's an example, I statements to do this. Example, I feel embarrassed when you make jokes about the way I speak. Please
Mm.
don't make any more jokes about my voice or accent. I think that is a really great example because um somebody said something one time to me. They were just playing around, but I was like, I don't like that. Like, don't do that because I have certain insecurities, and what
Yes.
you're doing is you're actually triggering me or whatever, or you don't know that you're basically talking about one of my insecurities, but I'm just gonna let you know, don't do that. I don't like that.
That's
So
true. I love that. I
yeah.
love what the example they gave. They saying being calm when you
Mhm.
get ready to explain these boundaries. You don't have to be loud, but I like that because what might be okay for some people may not be okay with me. You understand?
Mhm.
And I like
Yeah.
what you said. It may trigger something. You don't know the trauma or something I went through in my past.
Yeah.
Or if we're sitting at a table and then you bring up something that bothers me. And then
Mhm.
quietly, after it's all said and done, I'll pull you to the side and I
Yeah.
say, you know what? Can I talk to you for a minute? I just want to let you know that that bothered me.
Yeah.
I have to set some boundaries. I mean, if you want to joke or say something, it
Mhm.
bothers me right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So please don't do that in front of people. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Like
really good what they gave. That's really
like
really good.
like for me, I don't like I'm okay with jokes, but I don't like jokes on me.
Me either.
So,
I'm not into the joke stuff like that
yeah,
either.
I'm
Cause
not.
I was teased when I was younger too. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not.
that
And
that
and a
you
lot of
know,
people like to joke, and it's like I'm not really a jokey. I
no, no,
joke. Don't get no no don't get me wrong now. No,
yeah.
I do joke,
But
but
it's
I
how
don't
you
crack.
joke.
Yeah, I don't like to joke on somebody and talk
Yeah.
about, oh yeah, that's why your head look like this and this and that. Da,
No,
da,
I
da.
don't like
Like
that
I
when
don't.
people
Yeah,
no, I don't like those kind of
I
jokes.
don't like that.
No, when they start talking about how people look or your
Mhm.
family, I don't like
Yeah.
that. And I was teased when I was younger, growing up. I,
Yeah.
so it's not good. Yeah, I was teased growing up.
Mhm.
Because of my skin was dark. Like I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that. Mm-mm, no,
Yeah.
no. It's one thing we could joke and have fun, but when you start you going overboard. When you start saying stuff, oh look at your
Mhm.
hair. Why your mouth
Yeah.
look? Nah, you don't do that. Nah, no.
Yeah.
Why your lips is like that? You got big
Uh.
lips. Why your
Right.
eye like you know what I mean? Why your
Mhm.
butt is like that? Or why your hips? Why you look like that? Now that's not
Yeah.
nice. You don't do
Mhm.
that to people. And
Like
like you
once
said, people got
Good.
insecurities.
Exactly. Like once in a while, like when I'm doing like covering a show or something like that that I like to watch, and there's a character that I really can't stand, I might be like, he get on my nerves with his big old head or this and that, and then I have to come back because I'm not really coming at the person, so I have to say, listen, I'm just really mad at the character. So I have to bring it back. Like, I'm sorry. I don't mean no offense to the actor.
Yeah.
I'm just passionate about how terrible this character is right now. But I just yeah, I think that's important too because some people naturally they just like to joke on people
Yes, a lot of
and
people are
some
like
people
that.
yeah, and especially from Brooklyn
Oh,
and
girl, you know we from Brooklyn. That's
yeah,
all
and
they
this
do is joke. Brooklyn, they be tearing you up. What? They be going in, and it be funny. I ain't gonna lie, it be funny, but you be like, nah, yo, they be
yeah.
going in Brooklyn. Forget about it.
So, you gotta just be like with certain people because some people were raised to just joke, and it's just like, okay, I don't even want to be involved, so let me get out of here.
It's true.
um, so it says, I set my boundary. Now what? This is a question, and the answer is boundaries need to be communicated first verbally, then with actions.
Mm,
This is a quote from Henry Cloud. So it says, consistency and communication are the two keys to uphold a boundary that you have set. Don't let the anticipation of finally asserting your boundary distract you from the continued work ahead. We may have to remind this person or persons a few times before they are fully aware of our expectations. I like to think of a boundary as a law for your own personal country. I like that.
mm,
You're the only person in charge of your country and therefore the only one that can implement this law. If you don't consistently advocate for yourself, then who else will?
mm.
Okay? If you notice that maintaining the boundaries you set hold wait a minute, why can't I get that? If you notice that maintaining the boundaries you have set are more difficult than you expected or were prepared for, it's fair to further process where this hesitancy is
Mm.
coming from. Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna go on with like healthy boundaries or unhealthy boundaries, and then healthy boundaries, and then we'll close. So examples of unhealthy boundaries. This comes from another website. It's in the link, the description. Examples of unhealthy boundaries include a woman letting her ex-husband to trifle through her mail when dropping off their kids.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
very unhealthy.
Right.
What in the world?
Um, a man agreeing to lend his neighbor his bike, even though he finds this neighbor untrustworthy. Why did I
Oh
cut that
no.
off?
Hmm.
A woman feeling uncomfortable about how close a man is standing to her.
Hmm.
That's simple. A man avoiding confronting his wife about excessive drinking. You see how
Mm.
there still needs to be boundaries even in marriages?
And even isn't that something? Even in
Mm-hmm.
a marriage covenant, that's
Yes.
crazy. That it still has to be boundaries.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yep.
deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
So here is an example. Okay, we're gonna cut this down, child. Sorry. Here is an example of healthy boundaries. So, what healthy boundaries look like? So, let's get these glasses back on
Mhm.
and we're going to bring it up a little closer to the screen because they kind of small, honey. Saying no without guilt. So, that's
Mm.
what a healthy boundary
That's
looks like.
good.
A lot of people, when they say no, they feel guilty. Saying yes because you want to, not out of guilt or obligation. Asking for what you want or need, taking care of yourself, doing things out of interest slash desire, not out of obligation or to please others.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Yes.
as good. That's a good
Mm,
one.
yes.
Ooh, that's a real good one.
Behaving according to your own values and beliefs.
That's good.
Feeling safe to express difficult emotions and have disagreements.
Yes,
Feeling supported to pursue your own goals.
that's good.
Being treated as an equal.
That's
Taking
good.
responsibility for your own happiness and not feeling responsible for someone else's happiness.
That's good.
Yeah, because that be happening too.
That's good.
Being in tune with your own feelings. And
Yes.
lastly, knowing who you are, what you believe, and what you like.
Oh, I love that. Ooh, those are good
Mm-hmm.
ones.
Yes. So, is there any one of them that you want to, dive into?
Yeah. Oh, these are so good. Oh my goodness. Let me see which one I would love to. I'm pulling it up when you
I'm trying
pulled
to
it
play
up.
with these.
Um, Let me see it again. Khadija, the
Sorry about that.
screen.
I'm playing with the
That's okay.
thing.
Um, um, I like the one too. It talks about behaving accordingly to your own value, and your own beliefs. I
Yes.
love that. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. It's one of them we can talk about. Um, and it's so profound when you set a boundary, and especially myself being a person of faith in Christ Jesus, there are boundaries and values and belief that I stand in. And
Yeah.
I shouldn't be ashamed,
Yes.
not to beat people over the head, but I shouldn't be ashamed if I'm going out on a date or if I'm somewhere. I shouldn't be ashamed to express that. When I
Mm-hmm.
go to dinner, I pray over my food. Even I
Yes.
don't care who I'm around. You
Yep.
could be saved and unsaved. So
Mm-hmm.
my beliefs and my value, I'm not gonna push back because I'm like, oh, I'm over here with them, so I ain't gonna do that. No,
Right.
I love that. That's my
Mm-hmm.
boundary. That's where this is what I believe in. I'm not knocking you over to do it, but this
Right.
is my belief.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same vice versa. So, like me, like Paul said, if somebody don't like meat, you don't be disrespectful and say, ew, meat is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
You just say they gonna you enjoy yourself while they eat their meat.
Right.
I don't eat meat. I'm not gonna go in there and say, "Oh, meat is that crazy. You're gonna die." No, I'm not respecting people's boundaries just because people like steak. So people like steak. Hello, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So I love that you stand on your values and your belief, and you
Yes.
can't let nobody. When it comes to boundaries, when it comes to people, and people might say, "Well, why you have to say it like that?" We just know. Like you just said, I don't like people joking on me like that. You
Mm-hmm.
can't make me feel no other, like the other one says, feel no other kind of way, the way how I feel. A lot of these things talk about how you feel. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be ashamed of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why you? Well, it ain't that serious. We was just joking. Well, it's serious to me.
Right.
You gonna get mad the way I feel? I
Mm-hmm.
don't like it. Don't joke with me. You don't see me joking with nobody else. You could joke with people. I don't mind laughing and having fun, but I don't like that kind of joking.
Right.
So I love that. It's
Yeah.
these things are very, very good that you pulled up. So many
Yeah.
of them, so good.
Thank you. So the one I'm gonna talk about the one I like. I like them. I like the one you said, behaving according to your own values and beliefs. I like that one too. I think the other one, the last one, is very related to that one, which is knowing who you are, what you believe, and what you like. I think
Yes, ooh,
that's
that's a good
very,
one.
yeah, because it's like when you know who you are, you know what you like, you know what you believe, you stand on it like you said. You know what I'm saying? Don't let anybody. It's a healthy boundary that you set once you
Mm.
understand that I'm standing on what I believe.
Ooh, that's
This is
good.
what I like, and this is what I believe. This is who I am.
Mm.
So if I have to pivot because you don't like who I am and I got to do all of this changing and all, that's not a healthy boundary.
Wow, that's good.
That's me trying to make you comfortable,
Mm.
which brings me to the other one that I like, which is being treated as an equal.
I
If
love
I
that.
gotta change myself to make you comfortable, then I'm not being treated as an equal. Therefore, we have not set a healthy boundary because
That's
now
good.
I'm more concerned about how you feel and what you're, what I'm saying, what you're doing, which ties into uh, saying yes because you want to, not out of guilt of obligation or
Ooh.
obligation,
Mm.
right?
That's good.
Or even ties into doing things out of interest slash desire, not out of obligation to please others.
Please
So all
others.
of these
Hmm.
things could just kind of be connected to one another. You
Yes,
know what
they
I
are.
mean?
Hmm.
So like you were talking about with the time thing, I'm clearly not an equal to you if you don't respect my time.
Ooh, that's good.
You know what I mean? Because you don't care about nobody but yourself.
That's it.
You don't care. I mean, if it was your birthday party or something like that, you would want everybody to be there on time. But when it
Hmm.
comes to a function that I'm throwing, you always late.
You show up 3 hours late. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
So clearly, in this relationship, we're not equals. That's whether it's a mother and daughter relationship, a
Come
father
on.
and son, a husband and wife, best friends, co workers, business partners,
Come
all
on.
kinds of relationship.
Come
Grandma,
on.
even grandma,
Even
sometimes gotta
grandmama
have boundaries.
and grandmama and
Yeah,
granddad.
cause
Come on
people,
now, y'all.
yeah, cause people be like, oh, we gotta. I know, but I gotta respect my grandma. No, grandma gotta have boundaries too. Grandpa, y'all gotta set boundaries with them as well, because sometimes, just in general, people take advantage of stuff,
They
and they
do. They
and they will
really,
be
really do.
overbearing in your life, and they don't care about what you got going on,
No.
because they're the matriarch or the patriarch or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be disrespectful,
No.
you
But I
know.
tell people all the time, no is not a curse word.
Mm-mm.
It's
Right.
okay to say no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, I
And then,
appreciate you. No, I'm not coming. And I love
yeah.
you.
Yeah. I like this one I be hearing a lot lately is no is not a complete, I mean, no is a complete sentence.
Yes,
So
it
it's
is.
basically
Period,
like I
point
don't
blank.
have to explain nothing to
No,
you. I said no.
no. Those two little words. No.
Yeah. I said no.
I said no. Absolutely no.
Right.
Not at all.
No.
No. Yeah.
Sometimes you can make it a longer sentence. No.
Don't forget exactly and put the exclamation point at the end and
Right.
cap it. That part. Put it in caps. No. Capiche? You got it? Should I
Oh my
speak in another
goodness.
language? You know?
Exactly. Like, what in the world? It's just, shoot, it's a
I
lot. It's a
mean,
lot.
how you want me to cook this up for you?
You know?
Absolutely not. The word is
Mm-mm.
no.
Right.
You
Said
know,
no.
that's so good. That those healthy boundaries are so. That was some good information. They all tied in together. Like we got to set these boundaries, and it's okay. You
Yeah.
know, like you said, some people may not like it, but oh well, and let
Mm-hmm.
you know they didn't respect you from the gate.
Exactly.
You
Because
didn't respect me from the
a lot
gate.
of times when people don't, when they cross boundaries, first of all, or even boundaries that they don't even know exist, first of all,
Hmm.
you gotta communicate them, or they
You
don't
gotta
know it exists.
communicate. Uh-huh.
And the trick is that when you do communicate, or the test, should I say, is if they stay around, then they're for you. If they dip, then okay, good riddance.
That's so good. That's so
Godspeed.
good. That's and I like how you said even with husband and wife, even in a covenant of marriage, isn't that something? You still have to
Mm-hmm.
have boundaries.
Yep.
You understand? When if you somewhere with your husband, your wife, and your husband say, "Babe, I feel uncomfortable around this young lady," and you like, "That's just my friend from the job." If
Mm-hmm.
a man is telling you he feels uncomfortable, respect his
Yeah.
boundaries. Don't bring
Mm-hmm.
her around him.
Right.
Evidently, he sees something that sometimes you may not see. Oh, babe, but you always overtaking. Babe, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I
Yeah.
don't, especially if a man say that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel comfortable. And then
Right.
when something happened, he'd be like, I don't want to say I told you so, babe,
Right.
but you didn't listen. And vice versa. You might say, babe, I know that's your friend. Y'all play sports. Y'all go out. Y'all have some fun. Y'all in the man cave. But I feel very uncomfortable with
Mm-hmm.
this man. I don't like the way he look at. I don't like it. He's a little too
Yeah.
friendly. And your husband be like,
Mm-hmm.
babe, come on. That's my bro. I know it's your bro, but he a little too friendly.
Here we
A little
go.
too friendly
Right.
with the hands. A little friendly with the
Ooh.
touching. Okay? I get it, but I don't feel comfortable. And your man gotta stand up and say, bro, my wife say you cool, but got to lay your hands on my wife because I don't want to say it on the
Yeah.
camera. You know what I mean? Hello. Can't do that with my wife, bro. You know what I mean? I like I don't know if you
Oh
you ain't gonna
my
be able to come
god.
here no more. So it's true. When you feel uncomfortable, it's like on a co-work on a job. You may have
Mm-hmm.
to go to a supervisor or a boss. Now it's
Right.
gonna be a and it might be somebody that's in a big position. We see all these Me Too moves, all this stuff that happened. It may be somebody that hold weight,
Mm.
and you might have to walk into a company and say, "I was in the mailroom, and it wasn't looking good with
Mm.
this VIP CEO that
Yeah.
that's getting checks for the company.
Wow.
Looked at me, brushed me the wrong way."
Mm.
And people go through this every day.
Yeah.
Wound up losing their job. Listen, if I lose it, good. God got a greater one because I'm out. Because I'm not gonna have that. Nah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be. No. So a lot of people went through that and hit it for years. Now that they got all these movements and
They
got all
don't
these
come out.
programs that we do at jobs, now you can bring it up. But when something don't look right, even with your kids in school, if they tell you, "Ma, the teacher did something," this
Mm.
did something, immediately you deal with it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
your teacher. No, 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 honey, because I'm coming full blast. You
Right.
probably gonna forget I'm a Christian because I'm coming full blast. When you're messing with my kids, I'm coming
Right.
to knock the school door down. Hello. My kids tell me anything that ain't right. I'm coming. You know what I mean? So it's true. You gotta set those healthy boundaries and say, listen, I don't need you to be with my daughter by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Your gym male teacher, where all them other teachers? It ain't happening with my daughter in no gym with no male teacher. It ain't happening.
Right.
No, I don't
Right.
care what the school say. Else I'm gonna pull my daughter or son out of the school. I don't like it. It's
Mm.
uncomfortable for them. We have to
Yeah.
do these things. No.
Yeah.
That's how you hear about all these situations. Because parents be like, oh no, no. Mm-mm. It
Mm-mm.
ain't happening.
Nope.
It could even be in the church. You don't know. People are weird. You be like, nah. People are,
Yeah. You gotta.
as crazy as it sounds, these things happen all the time. We hear about it
Mm-hmm.
all the time, right? Am I telling the truth, Khadijah?
Yeah. You gotta keep your
It
eyes
doesn't
open
matter.
for
You hear about it
everything.
all the time. So we gotta. I like how you said we gotta communicate and let people know I'm uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Yep.
No, I don't want it. I don't like it. You don't respect me. I can't. Even with some of our friends that we knew for a long time, especially with friends. So when it comes to us women, I don't know. Oh boy, it's like a whole emotional thing. He's like, girl, well, why
Mm-hmm.
you? You like, girl, you gotta stop. I can't. I can't do it no more. I've been through situations so many times. Gotta be honest with people.
Well,
That's how you
yeah.
grow, and that's the only way that can be healthy.
Absolutely. This was a wonderful discussion. Make sure you guys catch, the replay. Look forward to hearing y'all
Yes.
on the replay. The next time we will be in the building is on the 19th. Okay, that is a Thursday. Let me make sure. I just looked at it, but I just want to double check
Yeah, cause
because
you.
I don't want to be saying something even though I know I just saw it. Yes, it is the 19th. We'll be back with another topic, okay,
Yes.
y'all? Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, cast your cares on God because He cares for you, and may the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, okay? Set healthy boundaries. Take care and be blessed.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.